All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushua, Bahashim, Rakah, Kodash. I want to give double honors to my apostles and elders, great millstone, who teach very well, walnut this truth from, and salutation out there to the hopeful elect who continue to push this word in our truth, faith, and sincerity. And also, Shalom to all the men, women, and children who sincerely believe upon the words of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushua. And today, man, just basically again, and touching on how the U.S. dollar being the dominant currency upon the planet Earth, that's a fulfillment of what Job 9 and 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? If the so-called white man, especially when he goes into these Edomites, if they're not the guys who's controlling the whole world, then who is? One main decision to show that you're controlling the whole world is that the money that got your face on it and actually dictates other people's currencies, man. Esau, he can make other countries bankrupt overnight. He did that more than one time, man. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was Zimbabwe a couple years ago. He basically made their currency worthless. And he can do that again today. Now, real quick, before I get the scriptures, matter of fact, I'm going to start off with this just to show you that these corner riches that Esau got is not better than the wisdom of the Lord. Because even the scriptures say, store up yourselves treasures in heaven and not treasures upon earth, where moth and rust does destroy and where thieves break through and steal. Because these FRNs, which is really IOU notes, they're really worthless, man. And let's see, even if you have $1 million, you're not going to have $1 million tomorrow. And if you have $1 million now, all of a sudden a nigga can hit a lick on you and you ain't got nothing. And he ain't got to be a physical lick. Nigga running up on you with a gun. No, he can just hack your account and bring it to zero. Showing you that here in these latter days, these corner riches ain't shit. Read this real quick. This is the book Ecclesiastes 7. I'm going to jump down to verse 12. It says, for wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense. So ain't nothing wrong with, having bread and things like that. But ultimately what it says, but the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life unto them that have it. Yes, so the wisdom that we have totally trumps the money and the corner riches that Esau have upon this planet Earth. Because even then the scripture said with wisdom come all things. Not only does it come with gold, money, cars, clothes, and hoes, no, it comes with rulership. That's what this wisdom comes with. But just going back into how, basically these devils control the planet Earth through the currency. One way he controls the planet Earth is through his currency. It says the U.S. dollar controls the world by acting as the primary language for global trade and the backbone of the international financial system. And it shows you that these guys are making a way for that sea hill. You got to realize that thing that happened in Hormuz, this is not no coincidence. No, this is this devil strategically trying to push forth his new world order. So like it. He's strategically trying to push forth his new world order, And again, why all of a sudden when gas going up into $200 a barrel, how would that fuck up the global economy? Because America's dollar, which is not backed up by gold or silver, is backed up by what? The petrol, the oil. You know what I'm saying? But let's go ahead and read a little bit more. It says, as of March 2026, it remains the dominant medium of exchange, involves in approximately 88% of all global foreign transactions. So even if you're not dealing with these guys one-on-one, you still going to have to put them in your business. Why? Because you're going to have to use their currency to trade. And yes, we can see other things popping up like the BRICS nations, the digital yuan, all these different things. But ultimately, as of now, America still have their stronghold upon the planet Earth, fulfilling what? Job 9:24. Let's read a little bit more. It says it controls. So like its control is exercised through the three main pillars: the global safe haven, reserve asset, weaponization through financial infrastructure. And that weaponization is these guys can make your currency worth nothing, man. It's a thing called economic hitman. When these devils can send somebody in your country and crash it from the inside out. Continuing on. And again, one of those things with that weaponization is sanctions. If you just because you didn't let this guy take your resources, now in order for you to buy some melons from Mexico, you gotta pay an extra, $1.50. And that $1.50 add up because they buy everything in bulk. You got 1,500 watermelons. You got to add an extra $1.50 on 1,500, man. It's an extreme increase, But this how this stuff have always been playing the planet Earth. And the other one is pricing in essential commodities. Right here, the petrodollar, major global commodity like oil, gold, and natural gas are the primary priced and traded in the U.S. dollars. Yes, and that's why even over there in Russia and Ukraine, every time it's talking about a pipeline, the U.S. is in it. Because ultimately, your dollar depends on that. Read a little bit more. Current challenges as of 2026. It says de-dollarization. And why is they doing it? They're trying to push forth this digital system. That's what it's going to go to. It says nations like China, Russia, and the BRICS allies are increasingly using local currencies like the yuan to bypass U.S. sanctions. Yes, because ultimately they have been feeling the effect of this damn war. And I have another one right here. How did the U.S. dollar become, the guys upon the planet Earth? The U.S. dollar became the dominant international currency primarily through its role in the 1944 Bretton Woods Agreement, which pegged global currencies to the dollars. Yes. So everything will be matched up into the dollar. Even you go into like places in Africa which should be rich, even certain places in the Middle East, certain Eastern European countries who have a lot of resources, man, whether it be natural gas or gold or one of those rare earth minerals. This devil will still make your currency worth nothing, man. And he'll come over there and take those resources and leave you assed out. That's what he always been doing. That's what he did to the Native Americans. And that's what he's really doing to the rest of you nations, man. And these other nations is really caught on to it, man. They been know about it, but they just starting to do something about it. Again, the BRICS nations is trying to create this digital yuan. But ultimately what these devils are going to do is bring this global currency, instead of being under the U.S. dollar, he's going to make it under the digital dollar, man, which will come in the form of a tiny little device. So let's go ahead and read a little bit more of this, because again, these devils have been planning this for so long. It says, which pegged global currencies to the dollar, backed by America's immense post-World War II gold reserves, and you stole that. Emerging from World War I and World War II with a robust economy. And again, that's why it's a saying, it's best to buy when blood's in the streets, because this is how you came up. You didn't come up by being good traders or you good merchantmen. No, you came up by destruction, rob, stealing, and killing throughout the whole planet Earth. Read a little bit more. It says the U.S. displaced the British pound by providing a stable gold convertible currency for international trade. Now again, so they took over from where Britain left off, but guess what? Them the Edomites too. And what they did, they really did a power move. So yeah, America, you're gonna take the brunt of this, But at the same time, it just basically shows you that here in these latter days, everybody is getting tired of this war, man. All the nations who forced to trade with this whore, all the nations who sold their people out for this whore, guess what? They're tired of it, man. Because why? They can see the MO of what this guy's trying to do. And what he's trying to do, yes, he's trying to take over, through war and convenience, but he's going to try to take over by chipping the people, man. So let's go ahead and get this. Because again, the dollar and his face being on the money shows you that he's in control of the planet Earth. Let's go ahead and get this in the book of St. Matthew 22. And I'm going to jump down to verse 17. It says, tell us therefore, what thinkest thou? Is it lawful to give tribute unto Caesar or not? And these people, they was trying to get Yahushua messed up about paying taxes. And that was a big thing in Israel back then. Jake was getting taxed harder more than everybody else. And even now, you're going to see how much you're going to get taxed with the inflation. How hard they get. Then once it hit hyperinflation, niggas are going to complain. But people are not complaining now is because, things rise up 10, 20 cents and niggas just ignore it. But niggas ain't going to really recognize what's going on when shit raised up $5. A bag of chips The 25 cent was those going to be $5, man. Soon, you know. Let's go ahead and read a little bit more. It says, tell us, therefore, what thinkest thou? Is it lawful to give tribute unto Caesar or not? But Yahushua perceived their wickedness and said, why tempt ye me, ye hypocrites? Because they was really trying to get Yahushua, oh, you spoke against Caesar, you know, and get them in trouble. But Yahushua perceived it. Well, look at this wisdom. Shew me the tribute money. And they brought unto him a penny. And he said, whose saith unto them, whose is this image and subscription? Yes, so whose face is on the money? Continuing on, they said unto him, Caesar's. Then said he unto them, render therefore unto Caesar the things which are unto Caesar's, and unto the Most High the things which are unto the Most High. Yes, so Yahushua basically saying, yes, his face is on the money, showing you that he have complete control. Again, Job 9:24, the earth is given unto the hand of the wicked. So that dollar dominance, again, which goes throughout the whole planet Earth, shows you that he's in control. And again, with that dollar dominance, he's going to try to push forth everybody to take a little device, man. Again, let's get another one. Let's go to Revelation 13 in verse 16, just going back into prophecy. How this devil, he's strategically going throughout the whole planet Earth, causing ruckus, stealing, rape, robbing, murdering, taking people resources in order to push forth this new world order, man. And this is something that the devil's always did. Once you go into World War I, World War II, the reason why the U.S. economy was robust or increasingly grown is because they were stealing. You know, they wasn't just going over there and help. No, they was kicking in the door, man, and taking everything and leaving. You know what I say is it was the gate gatherers coming with you when they leave any grapes. This devil, he didn't leave anything from pictures, from gold, even the history. This nigga steal the history too. But again, just going back, it shows you that here in these other days, him being exposed, showing you that he's on the latter end. His plays have been called out because he's been running the same plays since day one. He's been a murderer from the beginning. He's been a thief from the beginning. And he always been a devil since the beginning, man. Just now, these people is realizing what he's trying to do. Let's get this. It's the book of Revelation 13. Let me jump down to verse 16. It says, and he calls it all. That's the spirit. Let's look up that word all. You know? All. Individually, every, all, the whole world, everyone, all things, everything. In the spirit, it says all things, because what this guy's trying to do, connect it to the internet of things. He trying to make everything be upon that Bluetooth system, that brick brother spirit. I'm watching you. You know, it's not bad enough that he can see you through your cell phones. It's not bad enough that he got your TV hooked up into a speaker. All of a sudden, you talking about something you want to buy and it pop up on your Amazon. That's not no coincidence. This guy already got complete control in a sense, but he want more, showing you that he's a greedy devil. It says collectively, some of all types. Yes, so everybody is going to be affected by this NWO, man. You know? But again, that word all goes into everyone. It says that he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And that word mark goes back into it, a charagma, which goes back into it, a implanted mark, something that's going to go under your skin, man. Continuing on, and that no man might buy or sell. And it just shows you that it's not talking about sleeping with white women or sin. Look, this is a physical thing that this devil is going to push forth throughout the planet Earth to try to handicap the people, you know? And not only just handicap the nation of Israel, but even these nations. Because these nations are handicapped now because they have to use the U.S. dollar to get certain things in for the people. You know, they have to do deals and go to democracy just to do it for the people. But guess what? Now they saying fuck everything. They're not taking it anymore. You know that song, we're not going to take it. You know, they ain't taking the USBS anymore, man. Because again, the dollar is flimsy. You don't have the same power that they had back in 1944. Inflation is increasing. Venezuela have one of the biggest oil reserves. Why they're not one of the biggest, richest countries? The reason why, because they're not bowing down into the ways that Esau want them to bow down. It's just a lot of shit going on, and a lot of confusion is coming from Babylon the Great. But again, in the midst of all that confusion, his main plan is what? To get people see him. And not just people in America, no, people across the whole world. That's why it says what? He calls it all. Continuing on, it says, and that no man might buy or sell save he hath the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. And here is wisdom, let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of men, and his number is 606, and we know that's 666. But even once you go into those different barcodes, it's a 6 in the beginning, a 6 in the middle, and a 6 at the end. So let's get one more. This is the book of Revelations, chapter 3, and I'm gonna jump down to verse 10, because it's going to be a global thing. This is why the US dollar is the global currency, but it's going to be setting up for this digital dollar, whether it be backed up by Bitcoin. It's really just going to be backed up by different ones and zeros. But ultimately what it's going to do is going to force other nations and other people to bow down to the system to, get a head start. And it's going to make everybody, instead of the rand being this much of a dollar, it's going to be equal to the US dollar. But in order for it to be equal, you got to take that thing. Let's get this. This is the book of Revelation 3 and verse 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation. And it's the time when this devil, he's going to put the crunch. Because just like these nations who don't bow down, like these nations who don't accept the dollar, they try to bankrupt them, they demonize them, they sell up a bad guy, they're going to try to do the same thing to his elect. So the Lord said he's going to keep us from that evil that this devil is going to try to bring upon us. While these people are going to be hungry, the Lord said he's going to make sure his servants eat. Continuing on, it says, I will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. So again, this new digital system that this devil is trying to conjure up is not going to just affect the people in the West. It's going to affect the whole world, man. And ultimately, we know when that sea hip come out, being the next step is with the destruction. So yeah, I pray this video. If I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakodash. I want to give double honors to my Pazel, Israel Millstone, and Shalom.